Good morning. Okay, I just wanted to make a super quick tutorial for your bronzer, how I apply it. Like with everything, I always say play with it and see what you like and what works best for you, because the way I do it, you may like to do it a little different, but I'm going to show you what I do, and that'll just kind of give you a guideline to start, and then you can tweak as you go however you want. So this bronzer is going to be a lot darker than the one that you got, so that just means you don't have to be as precise. You can kind of be a little bit more carefree with it, and obviously the darker the powder, whether it's bronzer or like pressed powder, just the more dramatic the contour is going to be. So if you ever want it more dramatic, you'll just want to get like a darker bronzer, but for like a subtle one, the bronzer you got is going to be perfect. So I like to use a tapered blush brush, but like I said, the one you got is lighter, so you can really, use a lot of different brushes because you don't really need super precision. But this is about what I do. So I go on my cheek, and you can see, here's my cheekbone. I try to go above that and probably like half of my cheek, so maybe like from the eye down, and then I gently work it up. I try not to go in with a ton of product like right away, because I always just find it's way easier to add more than it is to take away, if that makes sense. So if I want more dramatic or whatever, I can always just go in and grab another layer. And then I just kind of smush that brush and whatever's left and work it up onto my forehead. And the only real key with this that's like a rule I would try to follow is make sure you connect it to your hairline. You don't want a gap between your contour and your hairline where your skin is lighter. So I'm going to do the other side, and then I'll come back and show you what I do next. Okay, so I forgot, I wanted to show you, I'll kind of go like this up my forehead, and then right here, I'm kind of just connecting the two. I'm not really doing like an exact circle, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of doing my cheek, and then I'm working it, and then right here, I'm just connecting the middle. Okay, so the next thing you can contour, if you want to, I don't necessarily do this every day, is your nose. So you can kind of go like this and find your nostrils, or find like, what's this? The tip of your nose, and just go straight up that, and you're gonna kind of make like a line, okay? And this is just gonna make your nose appear a little bit like smaller, more defined, that kind of thing. Anywhere you're contouring is just really creating the illusion of a shadow. And then you're gonna go right at the tip, okay? My nose is kind of a weird shape, so I don't know, I feel like it's kind of hard to contour, but I'll just kind of go up and down, and then I'll kind of work it down the sides a little bit, just so it's blended, and not like a super harsh line. And then if you want to, you can also draw a line right across the tip of your nose, so kind of like where this and this connects, you're going to just draw a line straight across and kind of carve out the tip of your nose if you really want to do it. Another thing you can do, which this is just genius, is right under the lip. Obviously works better if you don't put lip gloss on first. I don't know what I was thinking. And that's just going to create a shadow or the illusion of a shadow, and it's going to make your lips look poutier and plumper. And then another thing you can do is right at the jawline. And again, it's creating the illusion of a shadow, so it's going to just give you the look of a more defined jawline, and like take away any double chins for those of us that have them, right? And just like my jaw on this side is always just kind of like round and like bleh, so it just kind of helps create the illusion of a shadow and make it look like I have more of a jawline. I have a hair, I can feel it, I don't know where it went. Okay, so then once I get totally done, I'll take whatever brush, this is driving me crazy, that I did my powder foundation with. So it can also just be like a totally clean brush that you haven't used with anything. I'm not adding anything to this, but I'm going to go through and just very lightly kind of dust up and into that contour. And really, I just want to make sure I don't have any like super harsh lines, and that it's like blended and everything like that. And then, I don't know, on my cheek, I usually feel like I don't have to, but you totally can if you feel like it got a little bit, harsh looking, or like not natural, but it's usually my nose and my forehead. I'll just kind of brush and just making sure it's not like super sharp between my foundation and my contour. I want it to be nice and blended and natural. And then I'll show you how I finish up my like highlight and contour since I have you, in case you want to do these next steps, or if you don't want to, that's totally fine too. Okay, so like I said, you can totally be done here, or if you want to do blusher, I'm just going to show you how I work it into that contour. So here's my contour. I'm going to go right kind of above it and into it. I think of it as like that ice cream that has like vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate, and how it's like it's all connected and like smushed together, but it also has pieces of it that are all on its own, right? And I just kind of work it right up into that in like an upward motion because I want it to like lift my face, you know what I mean? And then if you want to with your blusher, you can always do the apples of your cheeks or your nose a little bit. That's optional. A lot of people just like to leave it right here. So try it both ways and see what you like. Okay, so there you have it. It's nice and blended. I just use really soft kind of circular motions, working it up. And blush is the same as contour. I kind of start with less and then I'll add more if I want it to be more dramatic, because like I said, it's way easier just to build up your makeup than it is to go in with like a whole bunch and then have to try to blend it away and like all of that. So that's what I've just found works best, is going in and adding more until you get what you want. So this is the last thing I would kind of do for like a contour, is a luminizer. So here's a fan brush. I'm going to take this right on top of that blusher so that it's also touching the blusher, but also a little bit above it. So I'm just going to hit the tops of my cheekbones. It's very subtle. And what this is going to do is anytime my cheek hits the light, it's going to kind of bounce light off of it and just make a really nice glow and like a really defined cheekbone. Very, very subtle, but it does make a huge difference. So I prefer powder luminizer, but there are cream luminizers, stick luminizers. You can use a really light sparkly eyeshadow. There's tons of options, okay? And then if you want, you can kind of hit the tip of your nose where you kind of carved out that end, and that's just going to help that pop. And then you can hit the top of your lip if you want. Again, all of this past the contouring, totally optional. Well, everything's optional, but just wanted to show you how I kind of finish it up in case you're mixing that in with contouring for the first time. So anyways, I'm going to finish this cheek, and I hope that helps. If you have any questions, as always, just message me. But thank you so much for your order again. I can't wait for you to get your bronzer.